point where you can just sort of focus fully in on Samoa and then know that sort of whatever happens, fingers crossed, you have a good run of steady consecutive games, week to week?
I'll go, Tom. No, it's been great. I think the sort of family break that we were given came at a really nice time for us off the back of 3 great performances. And they were probably great for different reasons. And then, at the end of last week, we had the opportunity to train twice, and that probably was the emphasis for that was probably off the back. The emphasis on that was on us, really. What we need to do, we did a big review of all 3 games and what we've been trying to work on and where we're at, and take stock of where we're at. And then also now, this week obviously we start looking ahead to Samoa. So really excited to get back. There was a great atmosphere in the camp. There always is off the back of that little mini break, and always are really excited to get going. We've got a great plan going forward ahead to Samoa, and also I think the team's in a lot better place, and we've got a really good understanding of where we want to go.
And so when you did take stock, what was the outcome of that? You sort of quietly pleased but not satisfied?
Yeah, like you never are you? I think it's the nature of the beast. We know that we're going to have to beat some very, very good teams in order to win this thing, and we're going to need to keep getting better throughout the tournament. And I think we have done that. I think we started really well against Argentina, and we built on different things regarding our game. And we're in a good place. We're not in a great place in every aspect of our game. Even the better parts of our game. I think we want to keep getting better. So. Like you say, we're pleased, but we really want to continue to push now.
And this weekend, obviously, Samoa, we know you're already into the quarterfinals, but you sort of won't concern yourselves with that, you just concern yourself with this. So with the challenge that they bring in that physicality, Jamie, what's it like to play against a team like that who are so, we were just talking earlier on about Tonga going on, taking on the South Africans and just kind of that relentless sort of onslaught that the Pacific Island sides all, they love that side of the game, don't they? So I suppose what's coming, but sort of what's it like to go up against that?
Yeah, they're brutal at times. They've got, I think, you look at the Samoa team sheet, they've got world-class players in their team, genuinely world-class players. I'm lucky enough to play with one of them at Saracens and Theo McFarland. So we've got a little bit of an insight into him, but yeah, look, it's tough. It's tough up front. I think you look at this Samoan side; they're a lot better drilled now than they have been previously. The coaching staff have obviously done a brilliant job with them, and especially in around the set piece, their scrum, their maul, we've seen in the previous pool games has been really, really strong and competitive. So we know it's going to be pretty tough up front. But we also know that every good England team is built around a strong set piece. So we're excited about that challenge, but we're also aware that they've got some. It's going to be a really physical, brutal contest at times.
I was going to ask about Theo actually. Obviously, someone you know well, and you've sort of seen. You've probably got a better insight into him than a lot of people. The sort of blend of that sort of physicality and skill set. Where does that sort of leave him ranking in terms of second rows?
He's right up there with the best players in the world, regardless of his position. One of the most natural rugby players I've ever seen. You tell him to do one thing, he goes out and does it, makes it look easy. And I think that the nice thing for me, obviously it won't be that nice on Saturday, but I've been really proud of the way that the performances that he's been putting in, because he's coming off the back of a big injury last season. He sort of skyrocketed to success and then had a big setback, but he's worked so hard to get back, and I think he's a huge leader in that Samoa team. And on the biggest stage, on a worldwide stage, he's showing everyone what he's about, and he's back to his best. And he's a player that we're going to have to make sure we keep a big eye on, because he's, like I say, he's world class.
And Tom, just in terms of the challenge for this weekend, is the message just that if I'm sure no one will, but if you were to lose focus, it's kind of exactly the kind of game where you could come unstuck because of the calibre of opposition that's against you?
No, I think any game in the World Cup, if you're not focused on what's in front of you, then you come unstuck. So our focus is massively on them, and like Jamie's alluded to, how physical we need to be, how brutal they could be, but how we need to get our house in order.
And just in terms of the way they've progressed, like Jamie has touched upon, and I'm sure they've done exactly that in their set piece as well. So how would you appraise, I suppose, the scrum first and foremost for Samoa? Probably a bigger weapon for them than it might have been in the past.
Yeah, I'd say that for most Pacific nations, the set piece is hugely improved. So there's definitely a challenge there for us, but we'll go about doing what we need to do.
Hi Jamie, just one more on Theo. Do you remember when you first saw him training and thought, did your jaw drop and all that? Is there a moment where you can remember?
Yeah, I actually remember when I first found out that they'd signed a Samoan basketball player. So I didn't think too much of it really, to be honest. But honestly, from the second I saw him play, it was like in training. I think everyone sees these really crazy skills and his natural ability, but he's a tough player. Like, he's a tough player who works incredibly hard. He's so diligent and professional, and that's one thing that stuck out from the very beginning. You know, a lot of the times new signings with a huge amount of talent can probably just rely on their talent, but he came in and just wanted to soak up all the incredible experience we're lucky enough to have at Sarries, and you know, he's kicked on, and it's no surprise to me that he's kicked on to be one of the best.
Can I just ask you another one about just kind of the process maybe of the next few weeks? Like, you know, whatever happens against Samoa, you're playing a quarter-final, and then it's sort of, there's no tomorrows, isn't there? How did you guys process that in 2019 to go through those games back to back to back to back? Like,
Yeah.
and what experiences maybe can you glean from how you did it last time?
Yeah, I think firstly, you know, we're in a really lucky position to have been in this position previously. The one thing that we learned was that, Tom alluded to it, we can't get ahead of ourselves. You know, this week that we've had without a game has allowed us time to refresh, it's allowed us time to reflect, and you know, that's been a great opportunity for us because it allows us to throw everything into Samoa. And I think one thing that's impressed me about this team is that we've taken each week as it comes. I think, you know, you look at the tournament as a whole, pre-Argentina, you know, there was a lot of doubts around this team, and we really just focused on ourselves, focused on, you know, knowing our opposition inside out, but then trying to make the most out, trying to become the best team we possibly can, and that's been our focus, and that was what we did in 2019. It's going to be the same again this time. Everything's going to be about putting the best performance we possibly can against Samoa, and then whatever comes after that, we're going to make the most of that week too.
You're usually quite dialed into what fans are thinking and all that, but have you got a sense that people are getting more optimistic at home, and have you had in your break, I don't know, any contact with guys back home that are saying, I'm really now believing we can do it after a bit of a tricky autumn?
I hope so. I haven't been reading too much, try not to in tournaments like this, but yeah, you know, chatting to my mates, a lot of my mates are rugby pigs, so they absolutely love it. And you know, there is a you know, really optimistic feel around those guys. There's an optimistic feel in this team, but not necessarily looking too far ahead. It's about where we can go as a team, where we can grow, and there's a huge amount of growth in the team. I think you look at, you know, we've got some really experienced guys, but also a lot of young guys who bring a huge amount of energy. And yeah, I think, you know, we're hugely optimistic as a team. We know that we've got a lot of hard work ahead of us, but at the same time, you know, we want to make sure that we bring the England fans on a journey with us, and we've said that from the very start. And we love that we've been able to put some smiles on faces over the last few weeks, and hopefully we can continue to do that in a few weeks' time. After that, you know, there could be some big smiles.
Hi Tom, just to confirm, still full clean bill of health, everyone available for the weekend?
Yep, everyone's in training.
And we were speaking to Courtney before about sort of selfless attitude of the team, and we highlighted Dan Cole and then that was like Hills. Does he have a particular target, or can you sort of give any sort of insight into what he does that makes him so selfless?
His target is to hit more than he hit the week before, but for him, he knows what his role is in the team. I think that goes for every player in terms of understanding is where can you add value to the team, what is your role. The try gets scored, brilliant, it might be your name on the score sheet, but it's the same amount of points whoever scores it. He understands what his role is.
And Jamie, am I right in thinking that Saracens, when Paul Gustard was there, he used to have a sort of award for like defensive player or selfless player of the week? Is there anything like that in this camp currently?
There's no real awards, but what the coaches do brilliantly is highlight what they value in this team, and what they value in terms of when they watch games back and watch training back. And like Tom said, you know, there's someone on the end of a try, but it's the people that do the hard work in the middle that create the space is the thing that they focus on. And you know, the person without the ball makes the play. So this team is hugely revolved around effort and physicality, and it's pretty clear when we step out and we pull on an England shirt what's required of us, and so I don't think we need too many awards. And Steve's not the type of award kind of guy. So yeah, it gets highlighted, it gets credited, and when it's not right, it also we're pulled up on that too, and that's the way it needs to be.
I think Alex Ferguson once said the two most powerful words in management are well done is if you use them sparingly. Is that what sort of Steve's style is as well?
No, he's just Steve says it how it is. When it's good, it's good. When it's not good, he tells you. He's very honest, and he's very approachable in that respect. So he's one of the best coaches that I've worked with, and the way that he gets that balance right is why he's one of the best.
And there's one final one. Have you been sort of keeping up with what's happened with Australia and almost certainly going home? And do you feel anything for Eddie Jones, and obviously having been in similar experience in 2015?
Yeah, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Having been there in 2015, it's a really tough position to be in. I know the impact that it can have on your own mental health, but also your family and the people back home, and the negative cycle that can come around with that. And we saw that. A good friend of mine, Will Skelton's captain of that team, and this World Cup hasn't gone the way that he's wanted, and that's been my heart goes out to him, because he's a really good guy and I want the best for him. So I wouldn't wish it on anyone, and I'm sure they'll learn a huge amount from this experience.
Jamie, England have never toured Samoa. Would you like to tour Samoa? And do you think the more established nations have a responsibility to tour a part of the world which has produced so many fantastic players?
I think what World Cups do is highlight the incredible work that the sort of tier 2 nations are doing, and the standard. Look at some of the performances from the lower seeded sides. The opportunity to go over there, why not? If you can pair it up with a tour to New Zealand or Australia or whatever it might be, I think it'd be great to grow the game out there, and we know how passionate people are about rugby over there. So if the calendar works, then absolutely, why not?
It is the last week you spent here in this town. How was it, and how do you feel this trip?
It's been amazing. The town's a lovely place. I think the people here being so welcoming, so caring of us being here. I've enjoyed the ice cream on High Street. Well, I did only find it yesterday. Sure. Maybe not. But yeah, it's been an unbelievable stay for us.
Thanks so much.